In a quaint village surrounded by lush hills and a winding river, there lived a young woman named Mira. She was known for her kindness and a heart full of dreams. Every day, she watched the river flow silently, carrying with it bits of wisdom and stories from the mountains above. Mira often found herself daydreaming about becoming an artist, capturing the beauty of her surroundings on canvas. However, despite her passion, Mira struggled with discipline. She would start painting excitedly, but after a few hours, her attention would drift. The beauty of the river would call her outside, and she would abandon her easel for the thrill of exploration. Over time, her canvases remained blank, filled only with the ghosts of her aspirations. One day, while wandering along the riverbank, Mira met an elderly woman named Amara, who had lived by the river for decades. Amara was known for her stunning artwork, vibrant with color and life. Intrigued by her talent, Mira approached her and asked, "How do you create such beautiful pieces? I want to be an artist, but I can't seem to focus long enough to finish anything." Amara smiled gently, her eyes reflecting the depth of the river. "Discipline, my dear. It's the quiet strength that carries the river to the sea. Without it, the river would lose its way, and so would your art." "But it's so hard," Mira lamented. "I get distracted and my thoughts wander." Amara nodded, understanding. "It takes time and practice. Just like the river learns to carve its path over the rocks. If you're willing to commit, I can help you." Mira's heart raced with excitement and apprehension. "I'll do whatever it takes." With that, Amara invited Mira to join her for a daily morning ritual. They would rise before dawn and meet by the river. The first task was simple: to observe. Each day, Mira was to sit quietly and watch the river flow, noticing how it adapted to obstacles and changed with the seasons. At first, Mira struggled with the silence. Her mind buzzed with thoughts and distractions. But as the days passed, she began to find peace in the routine. She noticed the gentle ripples of the water, the way the sunlight danced on its surface, and how the river bent and twisted around rocks, never forcing its way but always moving forward. After a week of observation, Amara guided Mira to start sketching what she saw. "Let the river teach you," she encouraged. "Capture its flow and grace." Mira took a deep breath and picked up her pencil. At first, her sketches were shaky and uncertain, but with each stroke she began to feel a connection to the river and the discipline she had started to cultivate. Every morning, she would arrive at the river, sketchbook in hand, and focus solely on her art. Weeks turned into months, and Mira's sketches began to evolve. Her lines grew more confident, her colors richer. She started to incorporate the beauty of the village and the surrounding hills into her work. However, there were still days when her old habits resurfaced. Sometimes she felt overwhelmed, tempted to abandon her easel for the distractions of the world. One afternoon, after a particularly frustrating day, Mira went to Amara. "I don't think I can do this. I keep losing my focus. Maybe I'm just not meant to be an artist." Amara took a moment to think before responding. "Do you remember the river? It doesn't give up when it encounters a rock. It flows around it, adapting, learning. Discipline is about persistence, about continuing even when it feels hard." Inspired, Mira decided to push through her doubts. She started to set small goals, painting for just 10 minutes without interruption, then gradually increasing her time. She learned to break her work into manageable pieces, allowing herself to celebrate small victories. As the seasons changed, so did Mira. With the support of Amara and her commitment to discipline, she found her unique style. Her paintings began to reflect not only the beauty of nature, but also the journey she had undertaken. They told stories of resilience, growth, and the quiet strength that comes from dedication. One day, Amara suggested they hold an exhibition to showcase Mira's work. At first, Mira was terrified. What if no one likes my paintings? What if I fail? Amara replied, "What matters is that you have poured your heart into this work. Remember, discipline is about the process, not just the outcome." With encouragement from Amara, Mira agreed. They set up the exhibition in the village square, transforming it into a vibrant gallery filled with her paintings. As the day approached, Mira felt a whirlwind of emotions: excitement, anxiety, and hope. On the day of the exhibition, villagers gathered, curious about the artist who had emerged from their quiet riverbank. As they walked through the display, Mira felt her heart race. When someone pointed at her paintings and exclaimed, "Look at the way she captures the light on the water," her heart swelled with pride. One by one, the villagers expressed their admiration. They shared how her art resonated with them, reflecting their own experiences and emotions. Mira realized that her discipline had not only transformed her skills, but had also allowed her to connect deeply with others. At the end of the day, as the sun set over the river, Mira and Amara stood together, watching the villagers appreciate her work. "Thank you for believing in me," Amira said, tears of joy in her eyes. "I never would have done this without your guidance." Amara smiled warmly. "You did this, Mira. You embraced discipline, faced your fears, and allowed your art to flourish. Remember, the river flows not just to reach the sea, but to nourish everything along its path." From that day forward, Mira continued to paint, never losing sight of the lessons learned by the river. She often returned to the bank, sketchbook in hand, finding inspiration in the simple yet profound rhythms of nature. Years later, Mira became a celebrated artist, known not only for her beautiful paintings but also for her wisdom about discipline. She established workshops for aspiring artists, teaching them to find their own paths through hard work and focus. "Discipline is not a cage," she would say, "but a guide that leads us toward our dreams. It's in the quiet moments of practice that we discover our true selves." Discipline is the foundation of growth and mastery. Like the river, it teaches us to adapt, persist, and flow around obstacles. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and remember that every effort you invest brings you closer to your dreams. It is through discipline that you will discover your true potential and connect with the world around you.